Okay, it's going to be pretty much a short meeting because it's going to be a one-way meeting. It's me talking to you. The board wanted me to convey some things, and that's the reason they want it taped, is because they want to make sure that I convey everything that they told me to convey. And I guess first I'm going to give you what you got, what you have already, and then what may be taken away from you if things don't straighten up around here. Okay? For instance, one thing that we do here that is a perk for everybody, we get an hour lunch, and we work from 8 to 4. According to personnel, that if we have an hour lunch, we're supposed to extend your work day to 4:30. That's something that you guys have always done here. And the board basically wanted me to point out all the perks that we get, and because of all the dissension that's going on, that those are some of the things that they're willing to take away. So, and this is your one chance. And unfortunately, the majority of you guys follow the rules. It's just a few that don't, and the few that don't will affect the majority. And so that's one thing that will be taken away. We'll go to either a half-hour lunch with 2 15-minute breaks scheduled by the supervisor, or we extend the work day to 4:30 and keep your hour lunch with no 15-minute breaks. So that's one thing. One thing that will be changing, definitely will be changing, is the insurance. It will not be changing until April open enrollment of next year, so you guys have a year, 11 months to decide what you're going to do with the insurance. What hasn't been decided, and we will know, we will give you at least 6 months notice prior to April, is if it's going to go down to 70-30 or 80-20. Right now we pay 90-10. So that'll be changing. We're just going to follow what the state does, and the state is actually the one, they may be changing to 70-30, so we're kind of going to wait to see what they're going to do. Another thing is, we really need to stay at our workstations, no congregating anywhere. I mean, this is something I have said many, many, many times. It's something that seems like no one is following. But stay at your workstations. I mean, congregating areas are break rooms, downstairs, out back. And if you're on your lunch break, feel free to congregate. Other than that, don't. We're going to be switching people around again. Seems like people get complacent in what they do, and things don't run as efficiently. So we're going to be changing some duties around, and people will not be coming to each one of you individually that we're switching and talk to you prior to the switch. And unless because it depends on your job, this next statement, it depends on your duties here, but our work day right now is 8 to 4, which means if your position is vital to this agency, being open at 8 to 4, then you need to be here from 8 to 4. You need to be in your seat at 8 o'clock and ready to work. So from 8 to 4, that's our work day. Now, I'm going to pass out, each of you take 2 of these. These are some directives the board wanted me to give. So everybody take 2. So you're going to sign 1 and keep 1. And I want to make this very, very, very clear. So I'm going to say it very clear so the tape can hear it. So that way the board can hear it, because I'm going to place it at the next board meeting, and everyone else can hear it. I am the administrator of this facility. I am the administrator of the health department. I do not have to punch a clock. I don't have to sit at my desk for 8 hours. So if you're tracking my time, that's fine. But just know that the board is behind me. If you don't like the way I run things, then you don't have to work for me. You're more than welcome. I'll give you a reference, and you're more than welcome to go seek employment elsewhere. But the way it is that you guys have to follow the rules that I set. And if you have a problem with any of the rules that I set, then you can let me know, and we can follow the chain of command, and then we can go from there. But please know that I am so confident in the fact that the board is behind me that that's why I'm taping this, so they can all know it and they can all hear it. And if any of you have a problem, you can go to the board at a board meeting and you can bring it up at the board meeting, because they will back me. And I want to say that again, the board will back me. So, and note that I find out everything. So if you think that you're building alliances or you think you have this master grand plan to try to rouse me out of here, it's not going to work. So I'm not going anywhere for a long time. So if anybody wants to get rid of me, they're out of luck. Like I said, if you don't like working for me, there's the door. Because everything that I do for the better of this agency. Not for the better of myself, but for the better of this agency. So, and like I said, that's how much confidence I have in what the board is behind me. Because basically they've told me that I'm not going anywhere. That it doesn't matter how many of you come to them and complain about me, they're not getting rid of me. They like what I'm doing, they're happy with my job performance. I speak to them on a daily basis, more than one of them. She's fine. It might be a TB test. So I need everyone to sign a copy of these. That's not an option. You're not signing that you agree with them. You're just signing that you received a copy. I need everybody to sign one and confirm it. Let me go over so the board can see they're going to get a copy of these. So here's are the directives to anyone. Any of these that are broken, this is your warning. Not basically a warning, but this is your one chance. So the next time one of these are broken, discipline. Remain at your workstations. You're not to congregate at other workstations at the health department during work hours. You may gather in the break room unless there's a sign on, you may congregate in the break room on scheduled lunches, break times, if allowed by your supervisor. So if you want to take a break, if you need a break from your workstation, I'm not saying you can't go to the bathroom. I'm just saying, just use common sense. Go to the bathroom, come back. Or if you need something from someone else, just use common sense. Tell your supervisor, hey, I got to run over here. If they have a problem with it, they'll say, no, don't go. Or I need to talk with so-and-so about something because it came up, whatever, I was helping with a project. That's fine. You guys use common sense. That's something that none of us are using in this place, it seems like, is common sense. Talk to your supervisor. That's what they're there for. And John, I feel bad. Don't go through John's office unless there's a note on the door here in the conference room. That's not a throughway.
I use his office all the time.
And
But I do ask John if it's bothering you. He told me that. So.
but
I
well,
won't go through it.
Does he have a door in his
It is
office?
just a shortcut.
Another door in his office?
yeah, he has a throughway.
Oh.
And unless, like I said, unless approved by your supervisor, there's some, like, if you're a receptionist, if you're a department answer phone person, and your department opens at 8 o'clock, then make sure you're at your station at 8 o'clock to make sure that when the public starts coming in, that you'll be available. Okay, discussing work-related complaints to other coworkers. I don't care if you guys meet down at Applebee's and talk about me all you want at Applebee's. You can say, I hate that woman, I hate working at that place. I don't care. You guys can have an annual, weekly, whatever meeting of, I hate Jackie, that's fine. Don't bring it to work. Don't be discussing any of your complaints at work, about work, at work. Because that just causes dissension, that causes poor morale. Just don't do it. Okay, like I said, I don't care if you want to meet somewhere and just burn me up to G, I don't care. Just don't do it here at work. Do not in any way vary from your assigned duties. If you feel that you've been given someone, I think I made this typo. If it's not your assigned duties to track somebody's time, don't do it. You should only care about what you do in this agency. Don't care. That's where people get in trouble, because they worry about what the other person's doing. You need to start worrying about what you're doing. If your supervisor gives you an assignment and you don't feel like that should be your assignment, talk to your supervisor. Don't go try to pawn it off on somebody else. Don't try to get someone to do it for you. Don't try to get someone to help you do it unless you ask for supervisor. Now, if you need help doing it, that's fine. Just go to your supervisor. I'm not saying you can't get help. I'm just saying go through your supervisor. Remember the chain of command and follow it. I passed it out a couple weeks ago. The new chain of command that the board just followed. If you need a copy of it, let me know and I'll get you a new copy. Refresh yourself on the progressive disciplinary policy that everybody signed here, because that's what we'll be following if anybody varies from this. And please please note that this isn't a complete list of directives. These are the ones that are just ones standing out right now, people are having trouble with. Anytime your supervisor gives you an instruction or a directive, you have to follow it, whether it's verbal or written. That's your supervisor. Now, if your supervisor gives you something that you shouldn't be doing, that liability doesn't fall on you, that liability falls back on the supervisor. Okay? So if the supervisor tells you to go do something, you need to do it. And if it's wrong in any way, then the supervisor will get in trouble, not you. But you will get in trouble for not following the directive. And like I said, this isn't the majority, this is just a few. So what I'm hoping to happen here is peer pressure. If someone comes up to you and wants to complain, if someone comes up to you and wants to do something, you can say, no, I don't hear it. Or if someone comes and tries to talk to you, say, I can't. We're not supposed to be doing this. Because I don't want the minority to make it rough on the majority, and that's what's going to end up happening. So if everyone has signed a copy, leave it here. I'll gather them up, and then we can go from there. Is there any questions?
You said some duties were going to be changed for people. Why was that?
Just change duties up. We did it before. People become complacent in their duties.
Complacent?
Complacent.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? It means you don't care, you become listless, like you do the same thing over and over, mundane, you don't have any drive, keep making the same mistakes over and over again.
Just curious. Thank you.
Any other questions? Whose signature is this? Okay. Whose is this?
That's mine.
Why does it say as Harrigan's at all? I can't
And
read.
the lunch changes, is that only if?
That's only if we
change
change
it,
it.
yes, okay.
Your lunches are still the same. And like I said, people that will be changing positions, I'll come to you individually and tell you what you'll be doing and where you'll be going and stuff like that. And we are going to get ready to do evaluations of our first EPA 1, and that's just we've been delayed. We've had illnesses and different things going on, so we'll probably be doing that this month. Is the first ones. And this is the one that, these are the baseline evaluations that just set what you're doing right now. This is not actually the evaluation. This is like your baseline, what you'll be compared to in 6 months. So this is basically the list of duties that you'll be doing